All right, so here's the Silca Electro pump. All right. So I'm curious what's in here. If this is different from other, like this Psych Plus, for example. So this one is it's an aluminum housing. Right? Everything's aluminum. There's 4 bolts or screws on each side, so 8 altogether. I think the Silk Plus only has 4. I think it's like 2 on each side or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but anyways, let's open this up and let's look. So you gotta take this piece off right here. It's a little thingamabob here for switching from Preston to Schrader. So let's put that aside. I actually already loosened this up. I wasn't sure about how tight it was and how much to take off and such. But let's see, there's a lot of shadow here. Let's see if I can get my other light. A little less shadow. Okay. So can I really loosen these? This is a Torx. Let's see what Torx number is this? Is it Torx 7? Torx 7. Pretty small. Actually, let's cut this out, and the next clip you'll see everything will be loosened up. All right, I got all the bolts off. They are tiny. Look at these things. The lengthwise, I think they're like only 2 millimeters in length. How long the thread is. So they're really small. All right, so all 8's gone. Let's see if I could. Okay. So I used the hole here to push it out on one side. I'm not sure what the other side's for. Oops. Ah, this looks very similar to the Psych Plus. There's the buttons. Okay, so on the other side, over here, that's there's nothing there. It just attaches. But nothing actually attaches to this other side, so you don't need to take the 2 screws off here. So it's only the 4 screws up on the top. So that's like the Psych Plus. This looks like the Psych Plus. It really does. There you go. Big batteries, big brushes, a motor. There's a motor number. Hopefully you guys can see that. Alright, and just a crank and the piston, kind of weight. So this connecting rod here, this thing is machined. So it's been milled. I think the Psych Plus, when you look at theirs, this thing is cast on the Psych Plus, but here it's been machined. So it's machined from a billet. Let me see, I'm looking underneath here where the piston is. Okay, this thing is the piston. I can see the bottom of the piston. I'm not sure if you guys could see that or not. But the bottom of the piston is one piece with the piston rod. So it's all one piece. And it's all one piece. So that's a whole piece of billet. So that's different. That's different from the Psych Plus. So the internals, just the internals alone, you can tell it's different. This right here, this is a drone motor. This is what Silca says. So that's what it looks like. So how many poles is it? Let me see. Let's see if I can count the poles. Let's see. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Is that right? Let me double count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So there's 12 poles on the motor. Let's see what else with this thing. So yeah, so it's supposed to. This thing's supposed to suck air in from the USB-C, because that's the only port. So air gets sucked in there and make its way through, I guess, through here to the top of the electronics. So it flows through all this surface area right here where the electronics are, to make its way down wherever however this thing sucks in air. I'm not sure how this sucks in air. This piston here. There has to be some type of a one-way valve somewhere. But anyways, I'm not taking this thing further apart. I just wanted to see this part of it. So this is really nice. Everything's nice. The drone motor is nice. This thing being a CNC piece of billet. One in the piston rod and the connecting rod, I should say, connecting rod, and the piston itself is one piece. So that's cool. I like that. That's really high quality. Again, with the SICK Plus, when you look at the SICK Plus, there's just cast. You can see that's cast. It's very rough. I'm not sure if theirs just like this, where the piston and the piston rod is one piece or not. But I've seen this part of the connecting rod, and you can see that it's cast. So that little things like that makes it more expensive. Let's see. So the wiring and the batteries. I have no idea how big this battery is. I'm not sure if Silca says it on the website. I didn't notice. Actually, the website, at least the US website, they took this thing off the website. It's not on there anymore. So you can't even see it. You might have to go to their Italian website. So anyways, yeah. So that's the inside of the Silca pump. Again, the bottom here I didn't have to take this off, but I wasn't sure, So anyways, the bottom didn't have to take off, only the top 4, so 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So that's like the SICK Plus. So I'm wondering if the company that makes the SICK Plus makes it for Silca, or if Silca has it made for SICK Plus, or whatever whatever OEM manufacturer for these things. Because they all, if you look at them, they all look kind of the same, all the different brands. The only difference is that this thing has some nicer parts here and there. So yeah. I sort of want to take this thing further apart, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I was thinking of taking this and screwing it here, and I want to see the piston. I want to see the cylinder and the piston in there, but I'm not going to do that. I want to see the one-way valve too. There has to be a one-way valve somewhere. It's probably like a reed valve or something. I'm guessing it's probably maybe this piece right here where the main valve is, the outlet. I think the back side over here in this side over here has the intake valve is right there. It's like a one-way valve or something like that. Let's see. Other thing too, this little plate right here that's against the batteries. This little plate. I'm sure you guys can see that. It looks like an aluminum plate, so that will help to a very small amount help absorb heat. But this whole thing's aluminum, so it will cool a lot fast. It'll cool more than those plastic ones, because everyone else is plastic, right? And you notice everyone else they have that TPU rubber silicone, whatever it is, cover to so you don't burn your hands, because the thing gets hot. This one I used it in on my motorcycle, and it only got up to 100, and I think it was 113 degrees. So your hand won't burn until you get to 130 degrees. So at 130 degrees, it takes I think, if I remember right, 5 seconds for you to burn. But if it was like, say, 120 degrees, it takes like 5 minutes. So at 120 degrees, you can't get burned, but you have to be holding the thing for 5 minutes before you burn. But if it was 130 degrees, within 5 seconds you'll burn. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, the most I pumped this up was 50 psi, right? 50 psi on my motorcycle, and that was both the front tire 50 psi and the back tire 50 psi. And when I did the front tire, because the front tire is smaller, right? So that's less air. It only got up to like about 100 degrees. But on the back tire, it got up to 113. So if the pressure goes up even more, then there would be even higher. It would be higher temperature. But at the same time, on like on a road bike, for example, road bike has higher psi. But at the same time, the road bike, the wheels, the tires are so skinny that there's not that much air to pump up to begin with. So the run time's not very long. Whereas with this, when I was pumping up my motorcycle to 50 psi, I went up. I can't remember if it happened to both tires or not now. And when you see my video, you can see it. It went up to that 3 minute limit where these things will run for 3 minutes. Then it will shut off to basically to save itself from overheating. So as I went up to that 3 minute mark, then it shut off. Then as soon as it shut off, within a minute, I turned it back on. 30 seconds or something like that, I turned it back on, and it ran the rest of the time all the way up to 50. So it did it with no problem. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna put this thing back then. So this is the hard part right here, putting it back, getting the buttons back. Let's see. And then I guess I have to put it upside down. Get this thing upside down. All right, slide it back in. Okay, buttons are lined up. That's good. Now just put the screws back in. These tiny little midget screws. Oh my god. So these things are so small. You have to be careful, you might strip them. And they do have Loctite on them. So that's why when I was opening them up, they felt kind of tight. I was like, feels a lot of resistance. So I knew I had Loctite in, but looking at them, it confirmed that I can see the Loctite on there. So I'm not tightening it down, I'm just screwing it in just enough so that way it will hold and doesn't fall out. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna stop the video from here, but you guys can see the inside of it. All right, so thanks for watching.